Insomnia. Insomnia is not just the absence of sleep, it is the body turning against its own rhythm. The night stretches long, the ceiling becomes a blank canvas for endless thoughts, and the clock ticks louder than a drumbeat. Ancient healers saw sleepless nights as curses sent from unseen forces. Today, science names it a disruption of the sleep-wake cycle, but the suffering remains the same. There are many forms of this struggle. Some lie awake for hours, minds racing like fires that refuse to die down. Others fall asleep quickly, only to be shaken awake in the dead of night, alert as if morning has already arrived. The cruelest version forces people to stay awake before dawn, stealing the final hours of rest as if by design. The price is heavy, focus scatters, emotions sharpen and collapse, reaction time slows until even simple tasks feel like battles. Sleep deprivation has been used as a weapon, a slow breaking of body and mind. Insomnia is not a single restless night, it is erosion, a steady dismantling of strength and clarity. Treatment begins with disciplined, darkened rooms, steady routines, and a mind taught to rest. But the paradox remains, the harder sleep is chased, the further it drifts away. Sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is the battle between breath and silence. During the night, the body forgets its rhythm, air stops flowing, oxygen drops, and the brain signals danger. The sleeper continues unaware, yet the body fights for every breath. What looks like rest becomes a hidden struggle repeated again and again until morning. Ancient tales spoke of spirits sitting on the chest, stealing the breath of the sleeping. Today, the explanation is medical. Obstructive apnea arrives when the airway collapses. Central apnea appears when the brain fails to send the order to breathe. Two paths, one outcome: the body trapped in cycles of suffocation and revival. The signs are strong. Snoring shakes the room. Long pauses where breathing halts, broken suddenly by gasps. Morning arrives with headaches, dry throat, and exhaustion as if the night had no rest at all. The sleeper believes they slept, yet the body ran through endless alarms. The cost is high. Apnea strains the heart, raises blood pressure, and invites stroke. The shield comes in many forms of weight management, surgery, or the CPAP mask that delivers air like a constant ally. Sleep apnea is more than a condition, it is a nightly duel where survival wins until dawn. Restless leg syndrome, RLS. Restless leg syndrome turns the night into movement. The body lies still, yet the legs demand motion. A creeping sensation rises in the limbs, burning, tingling, crawling, an urge so strong that stillness feels impossible. Sleep fades into constant shifting, as if the legs carry a mind of their own. Ancient traditions described it as spirits dancing through the body, refusing to let the sleeper rest. Modern science traces it to dopamine pathways and iron levels, yet the experience remains the same. The body is caught between exhaustion and the command to move. The cycle is relentless. Legs twitch as soon as night falls. Relief arrives only through walking, stretching, or shifting endlessly beneath the sheets. Rest vanishes, replaced by frustration and fatigue that follows into the day. The struggle is not pain alone, but the destruction of peace in the very hours meant for recovery. Over time, the toll deepens, mood weakens, focus scatters, and nights become battles fought silently. Relief comes with treatment iron supplements, medications that calm the nerves, routines that soothe the body before bed. Restless leg syndrome is the paradox of motion without purpose. A body that longs for rest yet finds itself forever marching in the dark. Narcolepsy. Narcolepsy turns daylight into a trap. One moment wide awake, the next pulled suddenly into sleep. The switch is instant, like a door opening to dreams without warning. Conversations, meals, even walking at any moment can collapse into unconsciousness. The boundary between wake and sleep dissolves. Ancient cultures saw sudden sleep as possession, a spirit claiming the body for its own. Today it is traced to the brain's regulation of REM sleep, a misfiring system that lets dreams invade waking hours. Cataplexy adds another twist. Laughter, anger, or surprise can buckle the muscles, dropping the body to the ground while the mind remains aware. The signs are unmistakable. Daytime fatigue is so heavy that no amount of rest erases it. Sudden sleep attacks that defy planning or control. Vivid hallucinations at the edge of sleep that blur reality with dream. Paralysis that holds the body still while the mind fights to move. Treatment exists, but there is no cure. Stimulants push back the fog. Scheduled naps bring some order to chaos. Yet narcolepsy remains a thief of certainty. It rewrites daily life into unpredictable episodes, a reminder that even wakefulness itself can be fragile. Parasomnias. Parasomnias are not your quiet, tucked-in kind of nights. Parasomnias turn sleep into a theater of the bizarre. Sleepwalking, where someone drifts through hallways with eyes open but mind elsewhere. Sleep talking, random words spilling out like secret broadcasts. Night terrors, sudden screams that jolt everyone awake except the person screaming. Teeth grinding, bedwetting, even acting out dreams. The body is caught between sleep and wake, like a glitch in the system. Some parasomnias look funny, others terrifying, but all show how thin the line between dreams and reality can be. They are folklore of sleep, stories acted out in real time. Parasomnias are not just disturbances. They are performances your brain never meant to stage. Night terrors. Night terrors are not the same as bad dreams. These are full-blown storms. A child bolts upright in bed, eyes wide, heart racing, screaming like the walls are closing in. Parents rush in, but the child does not notice them. The brain is trapped halfway, locked in a deep stage of sleep but acting as if in danger. Unlike nightmares, there is no clear story, no monster chasing you. It is raw panic, stripped of plot. The body thrashes, sweat pours, breathing quickens, yet the person often remembers nothing by morning. Ancient cultures described it as possession, a shadow pressing on the chest. Modern science calls it a misfire in the brain's arousal system, a surge of fear that hijacks the night. Night terrors can last minutes that feel eternal, leaving everyone shaken except the one who lived through it. They fade with age, but while they last, they turn bedrooms into battlefields. Not dreams gone wrong, but fear itself, unfiltered. For the witness, unforgettable. For the sleeper, forgotten. Night terrors are proof that sometimes the scariest nights are the ones you do not even know you had. REM sleep behavior disorder. REM sleep behavior disorder transforms dreams into action. In deep sleep, the body usually falls into paralysis, a shield that keeps movements locked while the mind explores its inner world. In this condition, that shield breaks. Muscles awaken while dreams continue, and the sleeper rises into battle with shadows that exist only in the mind. Legends spoke of warriors fighting spirits in their sleep, striking at unseen enemies through the night. Today, medicine reveals the cause. The brainstem fails to silence the body during REM sleep, allowing every punch, kick, or shout to escape. A dream of pursuit turns into running across the room. Nightmare of combat becomes fists flailing at walls. The signs are dramatic. Partners awaken to violent movements. Beds shake with sudden thrashing, and voices echo through midnight halls. The sleeper remembers vivid dreams of battle, chased by beasts, or locked in duels, their body acting each scene. The risk grows with time. Falls, injuries, and broken bones mark the nights of those unguarded by paralysis. Treatments calm the nervous system, strengthen the barrier between mind and body, and restore the silence that should guard REM sleep. This disorder is a doorway where dreams refuse to stay contained. Circadian rhythm disorders. Circadian rhythm disorders bend time itself. The body carries a clock older than calendars, set by sunlight and darkness. When that rhythm falls out of step, sleep no longer arrives when it should. Nights stretch awake, mornings drag heavy, and the cycle spins in confusion. Ancient cultures followed the sun and moon as guides for rest, believing harmony with the heavens meant harmony in the body. Modern science reveals the same truth in biology. The circadian system governs hormones, temperature, and alertness. When it drifts, the body loses its compass. The forms are many. Delayed sleep phase pushes bedtime deep into the night, making mornings an endless punishment. Advanced sleep phase shifts the opposite way, forcing sleep in the early evening and waking before dawn. Shift work disorder strikes those who labor against the natural cycle, their nights owned by duty instead of rest. Jet lag carries the same battle across time zones, leaving the body stranded between worlds. The cost is more than fatigue. Memory dulls, mood swings sharpen, and long-term health suffers. The answer often lies in light itself exposure at the right time, routines carved with discipline, and sometimes medication to reset the clock. Circadian rhythm disorders reveal the truth as old as the stars. Sleep is not only rest, it is alignment with time itself. Hypersomnia. Hypersomnia is the weight of sleep that never lifts. The night may give hours of rest, yet the body wakes heavy as if chained to the bed. Daylight arrives, but the eyelids close again. Work, study, conversation, everything is clouded by a hunger for sleep that never feels satisfied. Legends once spoke of cursed heroes who slept through entire seasons, waking only to eat before falling back again. Science gives the name hypersomnia to this condition. It stretches beyond simple tiredness. It is an overwhelming need for rest that can strike at any hour, pulling a person into sleep without warning. The signs are clear: long nights that do not refresh, naps that stretch on endlessly, foggy thoughts, slow reactions, memory dulled by constant fatigue. Even joy and energy fade beneath the weight of unshakable drowsiness. Life becomes a struggle not against waking, but against the constant call of sleep. Causes are many disrupted circadian rhythms, neurological disorders, or hidden medical conditions. Relief comes through treatment of the root, structured routines, and medical guidance. Hypersomnia is the opposite of rest. It is drowning in endless slumber while the world moves swiftly past. Sleep paralysis. The name already feels like something pulled straight out of a nightmare, and that is exactly what it is. You wake up, but your body stays locked. The brain flips the lights on, but the muscles are still switched off. People describe it as lying in bed, fully awake, yet frozen like stone. And here comes the creepy part. Many feel a crushing weight on their chests, like an invisible figure sitting there, watching. Shadows in the corner of the room, whispers, even the sense that something is crawling closer. It has been in folklore for centuries. In Europe, they called it the night hag, a witch who pressed down on sleeping victims. In Japan, it became kanashibari, the binding of the body by spirits. No matter what the culture, the story is the same as your body betrays you, and your mind fills in the blanks with pure terror. But here is the twist. Science explains it. During REM sleep, the brain paralyzes the muscles, so you do not act out your dreams. Sleep paralysis happens when the brain wakes before the body catches up. A glitch in the system. It lasts seconds, maybe a minute, though it feels eternal, and while terrifying, it leaves no scars. What was once a demon in the dark is simply biology lagging behind. Bruxism, teeth grinding. Teeth grinding in the night, but this is no harmless habit. It is a jaw acting like a blacksmith's hammer, pounding down with enough force to wear enamel like stone turning to dust. Ancient texts called it a sign of inner unrest. Modern medicine points to stress, sleep disruptions, and even misaligned bites. Whatever the cause, the outcome is brutal. Cracked teeth, aching jaws, and mornings that feel like you chewed rocks in your sleep. But here's where it gets even more dramatic. Bruxism does not always stay hidden. Dentists can spot the battlefield flattened molars, chipped edges, muscles tense like ropes pulled too tight, and for some, the grinding echoes out loud, waking partners with the sound of invisible gears turning in the night. It is both a secret fight and a shared one. The twist is control. Mouth guards, stress relief, and treatment turn the hammer back into silence. Yet, in stories and in science, bruxism stands out as proof that even while we sleep, the body is restless, waging wars behind closed teeth. Nocturia. This is not ordinary tiredness. This is sleeping, ambushing you like a thief in broad daylight. One moment you are in the middle of a conversation, the next your body pulls you under, as if the Sandman forgot the rules and showed up at noon. Ancient cultures spoke of dream spirits slipping between worlds, but science calls it a neurological glitch where the brain's sleep switch misfires. The real spectacle is cataplexy. Laughter, surprise, even strong emotions can flip the switch. Muscles collapsing like a puppet with its strings cut. Imagine the battlefield of daily life, and suddenly, gravity wins without warning. Yet here's the paradox: while the body falls, the mind can stay sharp, trapped in awareness, but unable to move. That is not just fatigue, that is betrayal. Narcolepsy reshapes life. Alarms, medications, strict schedules become armor against sudden sleep. But the mythic truth remains: narcolepsy is proof that sleep is not always gentle. Sometimes it storms the gates in daylight, demanding its tribute in the most dramatic fashion. Sleep talking, somniloquy. Voices rising in the dark, but not from the waking world. This is speech stolen by dreams, slipping out when the body is supposed to be silent. In old folklore, it was seen as spirits whispering through the sleeper, secret confessions escaping into the night. Science gives it another frame: random sparks firing across the brain, the mouth moving like a messenger for the unconscious. The beauty is its unpredictability. Some words tumble out as fragments, broken and strange. Others form full sentences, arguments, even jokes. To the listener, it is a midnight theater, part comedy, part mystery, with no script and no curtain. The sleeper, though, remains unaware of an actor who never remembers the play. Sleep talking rarely harms, yet its power lies in what it reveals. Stress, fatigue, fever, or vivid dreams can open the door. For families, it is both eerie and fascinating echoes of the mind unguarded. And so, somniloquy is more than chatter. It is the hidden voice of sleep itself, proof that the night has stories to tell, whether we are ready to listen or not. Exploding head syndrome. No battle, no explosion, yet the mind hears it as if the heavens cracked open. A sudden bang, a roar of thunder, a clash like cymbals crashing inside the skull. To outsiders, silence. To the sleeper, chaos. Ancient tales might have called it an omen, gods striking warnings into the night. Modern science paints it as a glitch in the brain's shutdown sequence, neurons firing out of sync, a storm of sound with no source. The drama lies in its deception. People jolted awake, heart racing, convinced a bomb went off or the world split apart, but nothing moves. No fire, no falling walls, only the echo of a noise that never existed. It is terror painted in sound, gone in a flash, leaving only confusion in its wake. Exploding head syndrome does not wound the body, but it unsettles the spirit. It reminds us that sleep is not always soft and silent. Sometimes the brain stages its own theater of noise, shaking the night with invisible thunder, then slipping back into calm as if nothing happened. Nightmares. These are not ordinary dreams. They arrive cloaked in fear, dragging the sleeper through landscapes painted with dread. Ancient myths said demons perched on chests, pressing terror into the night. Science calls them vivid REM intrusion stories written by the brain when stress, trauma, or fever sharpen its ink. The spectacle is in detail, chases that never end, shadows that never reveal faces, falls that never reach the ground. The body stays still, but the mind runs through horror films it directs itself. And the twist, when the eyes snap open, the fear lingers. The heart pounds, sweat beads, the darkness feels thicker, heavier. Nightmares are echoes that refuse to fade. They carry purpose too. Some see them as rehearsals for survival, the mind testing responses against imagined threats. Others see them as warnings, emotions too heavy to hold spilling into dreamscapes. Either way, nightmares remind us that sleep is not only a refuge. Sometimes it is a battlefield where the enemy is carved from memory and fear, and victory comes only with waking. Sleep deprivation. It is the body stripped of its repair time, the mind robbed of its reset. Ancient warriors trained to endure hunger and pain, but even they faltered without sleep. Science shows why memory fractures, focus blurs, the immune system weakens as if armor has been stripped away. The true weight comes with time. One night lost brings fatigue, 2 nights twist thoughts, a week bends the body into collapse. Hallucinations creep in, reaction times slow, and the heart itself begins to strain. Sleep deprivation does not just drain energy, it rewrites the body's laws, turning strength into fragility. History tells its own stories. Armies have crumbled, rulers have broken, experiments have shown the mind unravel when denied rest. The message is clear: sleep is not luxury, it is survival. To lose it is to wage war against biology itself, a battle no one wins for long. Short sleep syndrome. Not everybody obeys the 8-hour rule. Some are wired differently, carved by rare genetics that let them thrive on half the sleep others need. History remembers them as relentless leaders, inventors, visionaries, people who built empires and rewrote science while others were still dreaming. Modern medicine calls it short sleep syndrome, a condition where 4 to 6 hours of rest can fuel a full day. The mystery lies in the rhythm. These sleepers do not drag, do not fade, do not crash. Their energy remains sharp, their focus intact, their lives stretched with extra waking hours. What would be exhaustion for them is balance. Science points to genetic variations, rare switches in the brain's machinery that compress rest without cutting its power. But the story is larger than biology. Short sleep syndrome is a reminder that sleep is not a single template. It bends to different codes, and in a chosen few, it becomes efficiency made flesh. Not less sleep, but sleep rewritten, turning nights shorter and days longer without losing strength. Bedwetting. Bedwetting turns sleep into a battlefield of control. The child closes their eyes, the body drifts into deep rest, yet the bladder ignores the signal to hold. The morning brings wet sheets, shame, and confusion. For families, it feels mysterious, almost like an unseen hand guide the night. Ancient cultures explained it as curses or spirits passing through the home. Modern science tells another story. The body sometimes matures at uneven speeds. The brain sleeps deeply, the bladder fills quickly, and the connection between the two remains unfinished. Hormones that limit urine at night may be low, or the bladder itself may be smaller than average. Bedwetting is common, more common than many admit. Children can grow through it, yet some carry it longer, and even adults may face its return. It leaves no physical scars, but the emotional weight is heavy embarrassment, secrecy, hesitation to sleep at a friend's house. The remedies form a ladder: limiting fluids before bed, training alarms that wake at the first drop, medical guidance when needed. Each step rebuilds confidence and control. Bedwetting is not weakness, it is a stage, a challenge, and for most, a temporary visitor on the road to restful nights. Sleep-related eating disorder, SRED. Sleep-related eating disorder turns the bedroom into a battlefield of hunger and confusion. The body rises in the night, walks to the kitchen, and begins to eat while the mind remains locked in dreams. By morning, wrappers, crumbs, and half-finished meals tell the story of a feast the sleeper never remembers. In older cultures, this was blamed on spirits of gluttony, shadows that guided hands toward food in the dark. Today, medicine defines it as parasomnia, a sleep disorder where automatic behavior takes control. The result is strange combinations of raw food, frozen meals, even inedible objects consumed without hesitation. The danger runs deeper than embarrassment. Sharp knives, hot stoves, and chemicals turn the midnight walk into a hazard. Caloric overload adds weight and disturbs metabolism, slowly wearing down health with every unremembered snack. Causes vary. Stress, medications, restless sleep cycles all can trigger the midnight raid. Treatment may involve adjusting medicine, therapy, or sleep routines that lock the kitchen as tightly as a vault. Sleep-related eating disorder shows how powerful the sleeping brain can be. Even in dreams, it commands the body like a puppet master, guiding it toward tables no one set. Fatal familial insomnia. Fatal familial insomnia is sleep turned into tragedy. A genetic curse passed through bloodlines, rare enough to feel like myth, yet real enough to haunt families. It begins with subtly trouble drifting into deep rest. Then the nights grow shorter, the body forgets how to surrender. Weeks pass, months pass, and sleep vanishes entirely. Hallucinations appear, balance falters, speech slips. The nervous system unravels while the person remains wide awake, trapped in a body refusing to switch off. Doctors describe it as the brain's sleep switch, broken beyond repair. No remedy, no pause, only decline. In legends, sleepless wanderers were punished by gods. Here, the punishment is written in DNA, a disease that carries its own doom. Fatal familial insomnia is not just rare, it is one of the cruelest reminders that without sleep, life itself unravels. So yeah, sleep problems are not just about tossing and turning, they are about the hidden battles of the night. Whether it is restless legs, sudden dreams, or rare curses that steal rest, every disorder tells us how fragile and powerful sleep really is. If you enjoyed this, stick around for the next one. And hey, subscribing would not hurt.